Streamer Awards 2025. It was cool for what it was, but obviously you get a whole lot of bad jokes, which is expected out of award shows. Um, Mainly, um, why is it that whenever it's like someone who's at the top of their game, right? You get so much flack and just jokes thrown towards you. Like that I don't understand. For instance, I'm talking about the whole Casanat situation. Well, it wasn't even a situation. It was just a bad joke. And so if you haven't watched the Streamer Awards, or if you've seen the little clip, um, so the host Wendy, she decides to make a joke um, towards Casanat, saying, "Oh, I saw you had a documentary with 50 Cent," and it was just like, okay, like don't don't do that. The joke was pretty corny. If anything, if you're gonna be funny, like be funny. You know what I'm saying? But like like we've heard the P Diddy joke for like the last 3 years, so it's like okay, like we get it. So, but anyway, Talil, being who he is, he decides to he basically decides to intervene, and he basically is like, hey, if you're gonna be up here, you're gonna make jokes, at least be funny. You know what I'm saying? Then that that's all he said. That's not nothing crazy. He wasn't snapping. He didn't yell. He didn't do nothing. He just said, hey, if you're gonna be up here, you're gonna be funny. If you're gonna make jokes, at least make sure the jokes are funny. Have a good night. That's all he said. You get a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube. They're basically saying, "Oh yeah, defend your boyfriend, defend your husband," and they basically just trying to troll and make it seem as if like what he said was crazy or something. I'm like, oh, ain't nothing. He ain't say fuck you, bitch. Don't talk to my man. Don't he ain't do none of that. All he said was, "Hey, if you're gonna be up here, you're gonna make jokes. Make sure they funny." That's it. That's not that's not even like something crazy. You got people like you got people on YouTube, and Trey 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 Live, he actually said something that was like real, like, specific. He basically was saying like, yo, yeah, like we all know it's bad jokes, but it ain't nothing serious, you know what I'm saying? But you can see Ray, the Asian boy, he was laughing over there, but like, that's right. But obviously, the way the way the way Tylil had, made it seem like, he just defending his homie. We all like, and if you didn't see when Castanet won his award for a best streamed event, he kind of went on a little speech about him saying like, he's been dealing with so much since that Mafia-thon 3. Honestly, for me, like my perspective on on what he said was like he's dealing with depression, and he's like, obviously, you just did one of the biggest streams ever. You hit one of the biggest accolades ever, and after that, it's just like I'm still getting this whole, like, nothing's complete. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, you got people online bashing his name. You got things with his relationship being put out there. You got all these things put out here. And to him, it's like, I've been dealing with so much since Mafia-thon 3, and like I've had to turn to anime and everything like that, to get my depression taken down. He's saying all of that, and then you got someone who takes a jab at him, calling him P Diddy, when all this shit with P Diddy is going on. No one wants to be called that right now, especially with that documentary dropping and all these case files and all this stuff. Like, stop, bro. Like, no one wants to be called that. And then, oh, I meant to say another thing. I seen I was on Low Tier God's stream, and I was just scrolling through Kick, and I happened to see his shit pop up. So I clicked on it and I watched, because like he was reacting to it. I was like, oh, okay. I was basically going through seeing like who all was reacting to it at the time, and I seen his reaction to it, and his reaction was like, oh, we had to turn into a hip hop BET Awards type thing. I'm like, nigga, that wasn't even long enough to even be considered a BET Hip Hop Awards segment anyway. And, he's basically saying like black people can't take a joke. I'm like okay. I'm like, the thing is, that joke wasn't funny. If the joke ain't funny, of course you're gonna get on your ass about it. If it's funny, we gonna laugh about it. That's the difference. Like, if the joke is bad, you damn right. I'm like, okay, yeah, now I gotta fuck you up because that shit was ass. If it was funny, I would have laughed at it, but it ain't funny. So like, that whole black people can't take a joke is fucking retarded to me. I don't even know what that, like. Come on, bro, stop it. I've I've been talking about before too, nigga. And I've laughed at jokes that was funny about me. I've laughed plenty of times. But if the joke ain't funny, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was ass. Try again. Like, it's very simple. I'm pretty sure you've had jokes said about you. Well, no, you probably never heard a joke that was funny about you ever. So you never could take a joke, I'm sure. But that's beside the point. Uh, and oh yeah, on top of that, nah, I ain't even gonna do it. I'm gonna let you. Yeah, I ain't even gonna do that. I'm not gonna bring up the obvious thing that people call you that you get offended about. That you never find funny, and it's always been a running joke to you. And like I said, you're tired of hearing that joke, right? You're tired of hearing that joke, so you're gonna rant about it because you're tired of hearing it, right? Okay. Now you see where I'm going with that. Anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, so the whole streamer awards thing, then you get India Love, saying how Rakai should have won breakout streamer of the year. She shouldn't have rushed the stage and did all of that. But people gonna do what they do. Kanye shouldn't have did this shit either. The whole, yeah. But anyway, and then you get, I seen Krishan Rock talking about it too. She's like, "Oh, we don't know who these motherfuckers is." I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, if you're not tapped in, you're not gonna know who half of these people is. But I mean, if you watch streaming, you gonna know who majority of these people are. Should have Rakai won a breakout streamer of the year? Maybe, but Phase Adapt been on. Yeah, he's been on a tear too. So I'm not gonna knock what that nigga did either. You know what I'm saying? Rakai, I thought he was gonna win, but he was up against some big names, bro. That's it's kind of hard to do, bro. Maybe another year just wasn't your year. I'm not gonna say that oh, you didn't deserve to win. Everybody who was nominated deserved to win their award. It just wasn't yours. It just wasn't your time. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of great streams. You had a lot of you had one hell of a year. That don't mean you got to stop. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should ever be discouraged when they don't win an award. You know what I mean? Like, no one should feel discouraged. No one should feel down. Like, oh no, I'm gonna stop streaming. Hell, hell. If I can get over 50 views on a video, I know okay. I know I'm doing something right. I know some people are watching. I'm gonna keep uploading these. The grind doesn't stop just because you get like a low number. When that number gets higher, that's when you got to keep putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep reflecting. So, like with the whole streamer shit, like, we all know that streaming has went a different direction lately, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it going reality wise? Yeah, but that's the whole point. No one is watching cable no more. So where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to streaming. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna put on little fake gimmicks here, TV shows here. That's okay. That's money. That's money at the end of the day. Eventually, a cable company is gonna come pick this up, and then you on TV nationally now, and like, you're just making money. Like, there's nothing wrong with making money, bro. There's nothing wrong with making money. It's how you make your money at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, if you feel as though, you don't like, you want to do something different for streaming, do it. You know what I'm saying? We had the whole, the whole baddies thing going on with Zeus or whatever. Then, you got Ben the Don and DDG having a little TV show segment on Twitch. It was actually pretty entertaining. That's what I'm saying. Like, all of this is entertainment. None of this shit on streaming is to be taken serious. You know what I'm saying? When you're on stream, you're entertaining your audience. You know what I mean? Are they gonna think it's real? Maybe. Are they gonna think it's fake? Maybe. It doesn't matter. Are you clicking? Are you dropping gifteds and all this stuff? Yeah, because it's entertaining. If something entertains you, you're gonna give money to watch it. That's the whole point of being a great content creator. You're giving your people something to watch repeatedly and they're gonna keep watching. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep coming back. They're gonna keep watching. They're gonna keep like, oh wait, oh this come on at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go and watch it. Like, hey, drop 5 gifteds to watch this. Okay, cool. Cause like I want to see what happens next. Obviously, you're gonna want to do that. If you're being a bland streamer and you're complaining that your views aren't going up and no one's giving you gifteds or whatever, is because your content is boring. No one's gonna want to give you money when you're just. So yeah, guys, we're gonna get into this and like, bro, no, no one want to see that shit. Be energetic, be entertaining, bro. If you're not entertaining, no one's gonna want to give a fuck what you have to say. Yeah, some people are gonna want to fuck with you, but overall, bro, everyone's like, yeah. Anyway, let me go to somebody who's more energetic, more entertaining, making me want to keep watching. If you're not entertaining, no one's gonna care, bro. No one gives a fuck. Collabs are the best way to get you into for people to really see who you are. Collabs are the best way to go, and that's what Casanat was doing. Casanat did Stream University to get everyone to collab on one big platform together, get views together, drop content together, bring people together, and everyone saw that as like, oh man, this ain't nothing but this ain't nothing but one big ass boring, just ooh, no one can like no, bro. This was for everyone to come together and have fun. That was the whole point. Get everyone to collab and one stream together and go crazy. That was the whole point of Streaming University. And I don't think people understood what Casanat was doing. This nigga made his name off of this platform and brought hundreds of people together to have fun and record at all times to have fun. And some people made it as if like, nah, we don't care. They watch the big streamers only. Okay, get in with the big streamers and make your name known. That's the whole point of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get outshined doesn't mean you can't make your light be seen as well. You know what I'm saying? If if I'm next to DDG, they go like, oh, who is this nigga? I'm gonna make myself known. Hey, what up? I'm da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, DDG, let's have a rap battle right now. You know, something, bro. If I see Duke Dennis, hey Duke, let's have a res off. You know, something to make myself, you know, be known. You have to make yourself known in a business that you're unknown in. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself known. Make a name for yourself. If I have to be next to this person and do something to where I'm gonna get clips from it so people can come to my stuff and see the normal shit, do it. Do it. I'm not saying be crazy and do something just, you know, outlandish and, you know, crazy. Like, no. I'm gonna do something I know I'm good at, and I'm gonna go up against somebody who's known for being like just as good at that. Like, that's the whole point of this. If I know I'm a good dancer and someone's like, oh yeah, this thing can dance too, okay, let's have a dance off. I'm a set up my Twitch stream. I'm like, oh, 1v1 against da 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 da. That's gonna get clicks and views right there alone. That's smart business. That's just being smart. There's nothing wrong with that. But if people can't see the genius in collabs, then I don't know what to tell you. If you think you're gonna make it by yourself, it's gonna be a long road. It's gonna be a long road. We all need help in certain aspects, bro. No one's ever made it off themselves alone. You can build a name, you could build a fan base, yeah. But to get to the next level, you're gonna need some help. And that's okay. We all need help to get to that next level. There's nothing wrong with asking like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with this? I got you. Simple. If you don't trust that person, then don't do it. But if you got somebody you trust and you know they can help you, do it. And just give respect to that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I respect you. You know, without this person, I wouldn't be here. So, you know, much respect to him, her, whatever. You know, it's just very simple. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't do that because they, you know, they're so stuck in their own ways or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But me, if I had a platform like that, I would know what to do. I wouldn't just freeze and be like, oh, okay, like, what do I do? No, simple. It's very simple. Get people to come and watch you, and then once they start watching you, that's when you give them the real you. Talk about real things. Talk about things going on in the world, talk about togetherness, talk about love, talk about depression, talk about mental health, talk about, eating better, talk about things you talk about on a normal basis with your homies. Tell that to your audience. That way you're educating them on things that need to be said and that they're not learning anywhere else. Bring them to you and give them a reason to stay. That's the whole point of being a streamer. You know what I mean? If you can't do that, then you don't deserve to be a streamer. If you can't give people a reason to watch you and then you're complaining about how you don't have this and you don't have that, then you're in the wrong fit. You're in the wrong field. You need to be somewhere else. Do something else with your time. But if I had a platform, I'm educating people, I'm reacting to things, and I'm giving my opinion on it. But I'm not gonna be biased, and I'm not gonna be, oh no, well this. No, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it sweet. I'm gonna make sure you know, like, hey, you come in here because you know my opinion matters, and your opinion is gonna matter too. You know what I'm saying? I want to know how you feel about this. I want to know how she feels about that. I want to know how everyone feels, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, look, this is what we can do as a community. This is what we can do as as fans, as viewers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people just need to understand that you know when you're a streamer and you're famous, it's very hard to be regular. So when you see Castanet and you just like, oh, well, he's a millionaire. What does he have to be depressed about? You don't know what he could be going through. You don't know what he could be going through. These jokes and shit, it could just be like, all right, bro, like, look, that that one little joke didn't mean much, but to him that probably meant like, man, like, why the fuck am I here? You don't know how a person is feeling. That little joke could have meant like that could have been a nail in the coffin for him. You never know. But that's just my little rant for that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, for rocking with this long, just thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.